She could kill you. These were the words shouted by a SEAL training instructor at a recruit. What followed was a shocking assault that ended his career in a matter of seconds. This is a story you won't want to miss. In the intense world of SEAL training, every day is a test of physical and mental endurance. Recruits are pushed to their absolute limits, and instructors are tasked with forging the toughest warriors on the planet. But there's a fine line between tough training and outright abuse. A line that one instructor crossed with disastrous consequences. Our story begins in the midst of Hell Week, the most grueling part of basic underwater demolition SEAL training, or BUD-S. The recruits were exhausted, sleep-deprived, and on the verge of breaking. Among them was a female recruit, one of the first to attempt this legendary course. She was strong, determined, and holding her own against her male counterparts. Let's call her Jane. The instructor in question, let's call him Sergeant Stone, was known for his old-school, no-nonsense approach. He believed in breaking recruits down to build them back up stronger. But on this particular day, his methods went too far. The recruits were performing log PT, a notorious exercise where they carry a heavy wooden log for hours. Jane, despite her exhaustion, was giving it her all. But the team was struggling to keep pace. Stone, seeing this, zeroed in on Jane. He started screaming at her, questioning her place in the program, and belittling her in front of everyone. He yelled, "You're weak. You're slowing everyone down. Do you even belong here?" But Jane, trained to be resilient, kept her composure and continued to push. This seemed to infuriate Stone even more. He got right in her face, his voice rising to a fever pitch. He grabbed her by the uniform, shoving her backward. The other recruits froze, unsure of what to do. This was beyond the normal scope of tough training. As Jane stumbled, Stone screamed, "You think you're tough? She could kill you." He then pointed at another female instructor who was observing from a distance. The implication was clear. He was using another woman's strength to tear Jane down, a twisted and humiliating tactic, but he wasn't done. He shoved her again, harder this time, causing her to lose her footing and fall to the sandy ground. For a moment there was stunned silence. The sound of the waves crashing on the shore was the only thing you could hear. Instructors are supposed to build warriors, not break them with personal attacks and physical assault. Stone had crossed a line, a big one. What he did unrealized was that his tirade was unjust, being witnessed by a group of exhausted recruits. Standing on a nearby overlook were 4 senior officers, all SEAL colonels, who were there to observe the training evolution. They had seen the whole thing. These were not just any officers. They were seasoned veterans, men who had led teams in the most dangerous places on Earth. They understood pressure, they understood discipline, and they understood the soul of a warrior. They also understood the profound responsibility of leadership. What they had just witnessed was not leadership. It was a disgrace. Without a word, the 4 colonels descended from the overlook and walked directly onto the training grounds. The air grew thick with tension. Even the sound of the ocean seemed to fade away. Sergeant Stone, seeing the 4 senior officers approaching with grim expressions, immediately knew he was in deep trouble. His face went pale. One of the colonels, a man with a chest full of medals and a look that could cut steel, stepped forward. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. In a calm, cold tone, he simply said, "Sergeant, my office." The other 3 colonels flanked him, forming an impassable wall of authority. There was no argument, no explanation. Stone's career in the SEALs, a career he had likely spent years building, was over in that single moment. He was escorted away, his time as an instructor, and likely as a SEAL, finished. The colonel then turned to the recruits. He looked directly at Jane, who had gotten back to her feet, sandy and shaken, but unbroken. He addressed the entire class. "What you just saw is not what we are," he said, his voice ringing with conviction. "We do not tear each other down. We build each other up. We are a team, a family." That instructor forgot what it means to be a SEAL. Don't you ever forget it. He then walked over to Jane. He didn't offer pity. He offered respect. He looked her in the eyes and said, "Get back on that log, sailor. You have work to do." And with a new sense of purpose, she did. The team, inspired by the swift justice and the powerful words of the colonel, rallied around her. They picked up the log and continued their training, stronger and more united than before. This incident sent a powerful message throughout the entire naval special warfare community. The old days of unchecked abuse disguised as training were over. The standards of conduct for instructors were just as high, if not egal, than for the recruits they were training. Leadership, professionalism, and respect were paramount. The story of the 4 colonels became a sort of legend within the teams, a clear example of what right looks like. It showed that the institution was capable of policing itself, and that true strength lies not in bullying the weak, but in protecting the team and upholding its values. Sergeant Stone was officially removed from his instructor duties and faced a disciplinary board. His career in the SEALs was effectively ended. He became a cautionary tale, a reminder that no one is above the core principles of honor, courage, and commitment. As for Jane, she continued to face the immense challenges of Bud S. While the story isn't about whether she ultimately passed or not, it's about her resilience and the system that, in this instance, worked to protect her. She proved that she belonged there not just because of her physical strength, but because of her mental fortitude. She endured the worst kind of pressure and didn't break. This event highlights a critical evolution in military training. The goal is to create elite soldiers, but not at the cost of their humanity or the integrity of the institution. The 4 colonels understood this perfectly. Their decisive action wasn't just about punishing one instructor. It was about reinforcing the very foundation of what it means to be a Navy SEAL. It's a powerful lesson in leadership. True leaders don't lead by fear and intimidation. They lead by example, by inspiration, and by upholding a standard that everyone, from the newest recruit to the most seasoned veteran, must follow. They protect their people and correct injustice swiftly and decisively. The image of those 4 colonels standing up for what was right is a testament to the character of the SEAL community. It shows that while the training is designed to be the toughest in the world, it is governed by a code of ethics that will not be compromised. Sergeant Stone thought his authority as an instructor gave him unlimited power. The 4 colonels showed him, and everyone else, that real power lies in principled leadership. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as powerful as I did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. Let me know in the comments what you think about the colonel's actions. Until next time.